Professor Neil. I've shouted you out before. I'm going to shout you out again every fucking time, and this is tattooed to my brain. 8 Ps. It's proper pre-production planning prevents piss-poor performance. And if all else fails, persevere.
Oof, third time's the charm. I think this is center for me right here. Welcome to another episode of How to Copy and Steal. My name is Chris. I'm alone today, no Priscilla, so I am going to be switching for my damn self. But today, I'm not alone, my bad. I am joined by a dope-ass guest, a good friend of mine, a video editing magician, I don't know. I feel like if you had like a whole bunch of AKAs, it would just like keep going. But I'm here with Zeke Kitchen.
You are such a sweetheart. This guy's over here just buttering my biscuits. I appreciate that, Chris. Thank you for having me on the show.
This is nothing but the truth, my G. It's all fact stuff. Before we get started today, today's episode is sponsored by a live studio. If you are looking to start a show like what you're seeing right now, go to bookalivestudio.com and book a discovery call. And we look forward to hearing your ideas and seeing if we can make magic. So yeah.
Every 1 in 5 callers, it'll be me picking up the phone. We'll see what happens.
Zeke, you have helped us out with a bunch of projects. But I want to start off the show. We now started off with one question, which is when you hear the words copy and steal, what does that mean to you?
Thievery. Psych. When I think of copy and steal, well, I guess now that I've known you guys for a while and I've got to learn.
Try to think of it like fresh, without
from a
even
fresh
like
mind.
from a fresh mind. If you heard someone say that, or that was like, because that was the name of our business before we changed it to a live studio. I changed it for, other reasons. I don't want to get into it yet because I don't want to influence your response. But from a blank perspective, or just like off the bat, what do you feel?
Personally, I would say to take something and make it your own, like what Pepsi tried to do to Coca-Cola.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
I came for Pepsi. Shots fired.
That's cool. They're number 2, like, forever.
Wow. I think my mom was a Pepsi fan. Growing up.
I would say where I grew up in Pennsylvania, that's a Pepsi town.
Yeah. Pepsi and Sprite are the same, right? Or is it Sprite and Coke?
Owns Sprite.
Pepsi owns 7-Up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like 7-Up, but like if you're gonna put a 7-Up and a Sprite next to each other, I'm picking the Sprite.
Yeah.
I think that just makes sense.
I feel you.
You put a Coke and a Pepsi together.
Do you feel like it's all just marketing?
No, the taste is different for sure.
I don't believe that, bro. I feel like I've had Pepsi and Coke, bro, and it's just the same for me.
It's different. It's totally different. Sprite has that extra like tang to it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like you take a sip of that and you're like, you don't feel like that.
That
7-Up.
shit fucking makes your face turn fucking. Oh man, it definitely hits like something in the jowls. Like it does something.
It's great. It just you feel like fantastic afterwards.
Yeah.
It's the best on like a hot day. Well, that, and if you get it from McDonald's, they have like their own special syrup. I think they get their own like special like syrup mixtures for it. So
yeah, I think McDonald's has like the legit like syrup for Coca-Cola, and like their machines like spread out the syrup to like carbonated water ratio, and also like their straws are like specifically designed for like Coke And it's weird. It's man, it's not weird. It's marketing.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say like if you ever had like a soda made like how like the old style where they just like pump the syrup in and then
hmm
they add the carbonated water, that should always taste so much better.
I
It's
always
like
just felt like sometimes I never really liked dark sodas growing up. Just the fact that I'm like drinking this like tar looking liquid of a juice. But I guess it is that's what happens to sugar
shit. I
when you put
grew
it
up
on a pot. You get me? Like when I make candied peanuts,
caramelizes, yeah,
if I go and that's what the color is. It's not supposed to be like black like tar. It's supposed to be like caramel.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up on root beer. That was like my
Man,
favorite thing.
I didn't fuck with root beer.
Shut
I liked
up. That was the best. I used to
I
go.
liked Maltas a little bit. Like
Was that
it's like a I don't know if it's Puerto Rican, but it's definitely like a Caribbean
like a
version.
juice or like
Yeah.
okay?
Well, it's not. No, it's not a juice. It's definitely a soda. It's a carbonated drink.
It's like a
I
brand.
feel like my mic is a little closer than yours is, and I don't want to hear that like discrepancy. But we're good. We're good. Um, yeah, I'm gonna just pull mine a little back so I'm not up on it. Um, we are.
Get out.
This episode is all over the place today. I mean, technically
We
this
saved the
wasn't
seat.
planned. Technically, none of this was planned until like the day of, and I wanted this to be a loose conversation between you and I about creativity. I know I had introduced you with like a whole bunch of different labels, and I just want to take the opportunity to like ask you and like tell the people what it is that you do or what you like specialize in, and then we can kind of get into like your creative journey after that. Okay.
All right, I'm down with that. So I am a video editor, videographer, director. I have to wear all the hats. I'm a company of one. As I'm sure you wear many hats too. I mean, at least you have Priscilla to help out,
Yeah.
which is nice. But
I mean, Steph doesn't fucking help you. What the fuck? Steph is good.
no, she actually has helped out with some shoots before. She's done like makeup and stuff for me like a couple times when I've needed it.
Oh
So
shit! I
yeah,
had no fucking idea.
yeah. She actually in college I had a project I had to do and we had to produce a had to be like I think it was like 5 to 7 minute short film. And I chose to do a zombie horror film because I thought that would be fun.
We watched that together.
We did watch
that.
The
Yeah.
Burrow. That was what it was called. But yeah, it was cool. We got Steph got together some of like her friends and sorority sisters, and I got together my friends, and I paid everyone in pizza and weed and wine, and so
Look at
all
you.
my
Wait, let's pause right there. Like that's big level shit right there. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people out here just like do shoots and like they forget about like the fact that like you are creating a whole
yeah. I mean,
experience.
you gotta take care. You gotta take care. People are they're. I have people with fake blood crawling through bushes for I'm sure they could find something better to do with their Saturday than that.
Yeah.
The least I could do is feed, and especially at that time too, because I was in college. I'm like, all right, I got $36. Spend like 30 of it, and we can feed this crew with some cheap
$6 for props.
Yeah, that's gas money.
Oh man.
But yeah, it was cool. I don't know. Yeah, she's helped me out with a bunch of different stuff like that too. So it's been fun.
Dope shit. Dope shit. I wanted. Oh my bad. I switched over to you. I'm mistake. I wanted to take the opportunity to like ask you like.
I'm just gonna stop you there. No, it's not gonna happen.
Fuck no! I just lost.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I have
All
a
right.
little. I've been pausing from weed, as you guys know, and I got like a little weed drink in me. Took a little hit from the vape pen, so like I'm just letting the questions come to me.
No, I like it.
I wanted to ask about like what your creative process is. Like, I wanted to talk to you about your love for music videos. I know that like if and correct me if I'm wrong. Like that is like your calling when it comes to like coming into video, and like that is your like if you could do one thing throughout, like it'd be that, and obviously like eventually get into movies, right? Or
Yeah, I mean, I like doing movie stuff. I don't know. I always thought that was cool, but I don't know. I've always really liked just like music video stuff. It's something or like I've just always like enjoyed. I don't. They're fun, man. It's
can I ask why? Like, what about the music video? Because like for me, I can like look out from the outside perspective and think like, oh, it's like it's not like music videos like they can be as complex as a movie, but they can also just like they're shorter. Like
they can.
it's a concentrated like
Yeah,
time. You get me?
you can make it essentially it can be a short film essentially with a music video, and that's
Yeah.
why I mean
I think those are oftentimes like the best music
absolutely.
videos.
Well, I mean, anytime you have the opportunity to tell a story, I just feel like it's so much more meaningful. And don't I love the hype shit too. I love doing just like the like, hey, like I want to shoot here for the day, and I'm like, cool, let's. I'm sure we'll shoot for a few hours, whatever, and then I'm gonna put together a fun montage of what we just shot today.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's a place for that. But then, yeah, I mean, especially if it's a track that I think it's something that's more meaningful, or I don't know, it's just something that they want to shine a little extra light on. It's worth putting the extra thought
Yeah.
into the pre-production process for that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. My question is like working as a team of one, like what is your creative process when, taking on these projects by yourself? You get me? Like a lot of times, like I watch music videos and like they do the after scene credits and there is a crew, there's a whole catering, there's, all this stuff. And I feel like now that the barrier to entry to like just being creative has gotten so lowered, like as a team of one, like what are your challenges and like how are you able to take things on creatively? You get me? And like execute because you fucking crank them out. Like I don't know of anyone else who can just like go out there and just fucking make magic and do just handheld shit. But I also can tell the difference, when someone comes with like a different project and like
yeah.
they got
Well,
more around it. So
I mean, and yeah, like typically that is something I like to work with people's budgets. So obviously I'm not like if someone's like, hey, I can only pay this much. Like I'm happy to work it out, but really like yeah, when people are coming to me with an idea and they're okay with paying for the extra time in pre-production, the results are always like it's. I mean, it's night and day essentially. I
yeah,
mean, not that like I still love those kind of like just run and gun kind of videos, but I don't know. I just think having that extra step though really does just putting that extra time up front really makes a difference, and it's always something that stuck with me even from college. One of my professors, Professor Neil, I've shouted you out before. I'm gonna shout you out again every fucking time, and this is tattooed in my brain. But it's the 8 P's. It's proper pre-production planning prevents piss poor performance, and the last P is, and if all else fails, persevere. But yeah, I don't know. I've always it it's never failed me.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's dope.
My
Uh,
bad. I totally I
no, no,
ran
no,
off
no,
the rail
no,
off. What was
no, no,
I
shit.
forgot
You,
your.
you out here making clips, bitch. Like,
Oh, okay.
thank you. You got it. Shit, that works. I can fuck with that. I guess like, what are like the biggest challenges like working as a team of one and like what is your creative process like? Is it a shot list? Is it like or is it a shot list on paper? Is it your Apple Notes? Like do you have like systems or are you literally just like going out there and making magic then like you know
Yeah, I mean, I would say now, at least in terms of yeah, like for music videos and whatnot, but just in projects in general, I like to yeah have them. I have a call it like my ad lib sheet that I send them, so they kind of can go in and fill out like what they want to see maybe in verse one or what they want to see in chorus two or the bridge or anything like that. Like if they maybe have a specific vision, because that's what I mean. I'm like it's like you have songs sometimes where it's just like there's something meaningful there where you want the imagery to like really be impactful because when you have the music line up with imagery like that, it just sticks. It just really, like, I think that resonates with people so much more,
Yeah.
compared to like just flashy cuts. And I don't know. And that's also, I think, like, we're seeing a lot of these like $300 music video price where I'm like, it's just shitty camera work with
Did
a
you say
bunch of.
$300 music video?
I mean, you're just like, you ever see like those, like the sponsor posts you get like
I've
on.
seen like the free like music videos people do on like TikTok and shit, like just to like do like portfolio projects and they go viral and things
Yeah.
like that. And then like celebrities like, oh, I want my free fucking music video, things like that. But
Well, I think there was this one guy who was in LA who was like promoting that, which I mean is not a bad way to get people in the door, but there better be a fine line with what you're offering for $300. But people ripping them apart, I feel bad kind of because they're like, well, I don't really feel that bad because like I think there is like it does come to it like if you do want to do this thing as a career, you have to take it like you got to take it to the extra step and
yeah,
especially when you're living somewhere like LA. And you got to really think about one, the cost of the wear and tear on your equipment, or just even having the equipment to deal with on hand anyway. Because otherwise, if you don't have the equipment, you got to rent it.
mm-hmm.
That's an extra cost. And then you got to also think about the transportation, getting back and forth. You need to think about the time at the shoot. You need to think about the time after the shoot as well for post production. Then also, you got to consider what kind of pre production needs to go into it as well. So there's a lot of things to consider. So I mean, when we're talking like $300, I'm like, if you're whipping that shit out and like you're shooting for like 30 minutes and getting it edited in like the next like 45, sure, that makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just think you gotta if you want to be taken seriously, you also have to price yourself seriously too. Because people also do get scared off by people having such low prices. That is such a thing as well. It's
Yeah.
not just like, because I think people do that and they try to.
Isn't that fucking wild?
Yeah,
Like,
but no, it makes sense because, like, bro, why do you think there's Target and there's Walmart? They both sell the same, basically same exact shit.
yeah.
But
Honestly, I feel
why
like
is
there have been times where like I've been like given the shit end of the stick because like people look at the quality of work and then when I tell them my base rate, they're just like, what? Like,
Yeah, but that's also like, yeah, because people just don't understand how much time goes into it. They just think it magically happens. They just think it all comes together with the push of a button, but it's not. And that's also, I think, on us too to educate people as we can. But also, I mean, you'll know when you're talking to somebody. I'm like, is this person just going to be like a looky-loo, or are they actually like serious about getting something done? Because that's why I like to work with people who are serious about like what they do. And
yeah.
typically, for the most part, that's like why I like working with artists because you're not. I mean, not that you can't make money out of the music game, but it definitely starts with love, and like there's gotta be a passion for it there first. So it's fun to work with people who are also passionate about like what they do. And rarely, I mean, like I have met a couple people where I'm like, do you actually want to do this shit, or is this just like, I, I don't know. Like, it just seems kind of like. I mean, nothing's wrong with it if you're just doing it for fun either. Like, do your thing. But also at the same time, like, if you actually want to make it somewhere, I'm like, you got to treat it like a job. You gotta take it seriously.
Yeah, I agree. When it comes to music videos, who are... All right, let me repeat. When it comes to music video, oh my God,
the challenge of working by myself, I would say, is time management for sure.
Okay.
Definitely. It's important to keep yourself having a work-life balance too, because you got to remember, I'm like, it's a lot, yeah, like, because it's when it's just you. When you're not working, nothing is progressing. Essentially, it's not like we have an online business where it's just reoccurring.
I mean, we do need to like start taking advantage of like automizing things and like
Yeah,
and it's gonna get easier as like this AI
definitely
revolution like takes over, and like I can see so much being like.
Well, that's why I think even for like replying to like inquiries and stuff like that, to have automatic messages set up is also very helpful because it just cuts.
Sometimes it does feel a little dehumanizing when I can sense them getting an automated message from someone.
Yeah,
If it's like me starting out with them and I'm getting automated messages, like cool. But there have been times where like I feel like I reach out to someone.
The first message is typically like automated, and
Yeah.
then from there I'll actually like it's just to get all because like all it is. I'm like, hey, can you answer this like list of questions? I keep it pretty like general. I'm like, hey, Samantha W. Like, I just like
Yeah.
that shit. You could definitely tell I'm like, God, this is just like somebody
Yeah.
spit this out of a machine. But,
Yeah.
and also, I mean, if I get to it before, like, I don't know, like, I don't mind just mostly for like Instagram. If I see it, then I'll just get on there and reply. But
Yeah.
anything that goes to like my website or whatnot, then I just have it auto reply just to get the basic info out of the way. So then that way I can really get into the conversation with them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Um, who are some of your inspirations when it comes to the music video game? Like, who is doing? I mean, I know in the past, like it's definitely like Cole Bennett, but like Cole Bennett is definitely like I feel like he's newer on the scene. But like, who are your OGs? Like, who are the like we all know the Steven Spielbergs and like Stanley Kubricks and now Christopher Nolan's and things like that. Who are those people for you specific to music videos, if any?
Fuck, it's really hard. Shit. I,
It could be studios too. You get me? Because I understand like sometimes there's even just like whole studios where teams and things like that. I believe Cole Bennett now, like Lyrical Lemonade, is a team. Like it's
well, no, that's why it's like Cole Bennett is he's like the Disney Channel of music videos. It's like that's just the best.
that's
They're
the
great. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't mean that in a negative way at all. I'm just like that's
if you're
he's set.
if your name is in the same name with Disney, you're in good you're good company,
I
my
just
G.
feel like he's definitely like set the gold standard, at least in my opinion, because I like the style that he does. I like goofy stuff. Like he does just weird. He adds a lot of weird, odd stuff to his videos,
Yeah,
and I love that. I think that's so cool. Just because I don't know. I like we were talking about here, just like a lot of the run and gun repetition, like money, smoking weed, and some butt shaking. Like it's cool. Like it's hype. There's songs for that, but also at the same time, like I like what he does because I don't know, you just feel like I feel like I'm watching little movies every time I watch his stuff.
yeah,
It's and sometimes like the storyline's kind of it's just kind of weird and broken up, but it's entertaining as hell at the very least. Like it's just I
yeah.
can't take my eyes off of it. I think like one of my favorites that he's done is the Life Goes On one with Oliver Twist. Is
I
it?
feel like I've seen
Shit.
it. Does he have fucked up teeth? Oh, Oliver, no. All right, maybe I'm thinking of someone
I think
else.
you're thinking of.
You want to pick up the mic, G?
Oh my bad. I think you're thinking of Kid Leroy or something maybe. Australian
Yeah,
kid. Yeah.
yeah, that's who I'm thinking of. I think.
I love that. That kid's got a killer voice on him.
Yeah,
Even just like hearing his raw vocals, you're like, oh
yeah.
shit.
My bad. Did we ever fix the back of that chair for you?
Nah, it's fine.
No. Are you fine? Do you want to? I think it's that with lever right there, and just pull back, like push it back towards you, like
Uh,
no. Oh, it might be on the other side. Yeah, it might be on the other side. Little technical difficulties. No.
well, no, it's fine.
Okay. So, when it comes to, so wait, you just said Cole Bennett. Any others?
Uh, there's actually this. What is it? Shit. Zoe. Fuck, I can't remember. Where's my phone? I gotta look it up now.
You cheating bitch. You're not a
I
fan
don't
of her.
care. This ain't a test. This isn't the
Look at this guy,
SATs.
fucking guy. Yeah, I'm a fan. Let me just
Oh
see
no,
this
I'm
dude.
I'm only saying so
I'm not gonna
I'd
lie.
get
That's
it
the
right.
same way I am. That's the same way I am with like
I want
music. Like I can't tell you like artists and like names of songs that I
Yeah.
like, but I can just tell you that they're in my play. Like if you tell me who it is, like I'll search up in my Spotify, and if it's in the like songs, I fuck with it. If it's not in the like songs, I don't fuck with it.
Oh fuck. Oh, I think it's just.
Had I
Oh,
planned this episode a little more, I definitely would have plugged into a screen and showed it on display, and we could have had some dope visuals. But we're filming shit on the fly, people.
that's all good. We're having fun with it. Uh, this girl, she's a music video director in LA. I just heard.
What's her name? Shout her out.
It's Zoe. That's it. She just has Zoe LA director. That's her.
Zoey?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's it's underscore I am Zoe. So, but yeah, she does because actually I was gonna have her on Zeke's World for an episode too. I was like, they had
Okay.
talked about having her on because I thought that would be cool to have someone else who also
Yeah.
does like what I do too. You know,
Yeah.
because everyone's got that, and I think that's the fun part about music videos. Is there's not really a wrong way to do them, and that's why I love. I think you just have so much open like creativity and freedom. I think for the most part.
Yeah. I love when like going back to Cole Bennett for a quick second.
Mm-hmm.
I love when he takes the
I'll
like
talk about that motherfucker all
opportunity
day.
to I love when he takes the opportunity to create like mini music videos while he's on the shoot for bigger music videos, and he often like challenges himself to use it with the iPhone. I don't know if he has like a deal with iPhone. I mean, if I was Apple, like I would definitely be on
I don't
top of
even
that
know
in
if it's
terms of like
that or if
get this motherfucker to make videos with our phones. But it's so dope that he like actually challenges himself and he
yeah.
makes them fucking shine.
Yeah, well, and I think really, and that also shows that it comes down to having a vision for it, and then also editing. Huge editing's huge. Like I think if you can shoot mediocre video and make it look badass with editing.
Yeah.
That's the power of editing.
Yeah.
Like you really can totally change stuff.
Yeah.
But that's I think also he does that. Maybe not. I don't know if he is partnered with Apple, but I think it's also maybe just a way to show people too, like you got what you need in your pocket to get started. Well, and that's so he does I think he had like a breakdown video or he had another video where he had like links to apps that he used to film from on the phone for effects and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I even like downloaded those like
Wait,
played
so
around
he's
with.
doing effects on the fly, like using
That's why I don't
filters
think
and
it's
things
just
like
through.
that?
Yeah, that's why I don't think it's just through like Apple. Like I think it's more of like hey, like literally like you can use these free apps and most of you already have a phone in your pocket anyway. It's
Yeah.
probably how you're watching this video right now.
Yeah.
You could go shoot a video. And I think that's kind of cool to show people too, because I don't like gear buffs, like people who are like, ooh, it's a red. Like, no, like that's, it really, I think it's about storytelling and not necessarily the equipment you want, but it's about the equipment you have.
Yeah.
And how can you use that to tell your story?
Yeah.
That to me is like, I've seen people make beautiful stuff on like a $400 starter, like Canon camera.
Yeah.
And I think it really comes down to who is behind the camera.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It doesn't. I've seen people make hot dog shit with beautiful cinema cameras. You know, and that's why I 100% believe it. It's the shooter, not the what you're shooting with.
Yeah. Nah, I couldn't
But
agree
it
more.
does. I mean, you get to a certain point where it definitely does help to have like to upgrade your equipment and stuff. But like with time, that'll come. You know.
Yeah. Would you ever challenge yourself to make a music video solely with iPhone, and would you charge your normal rate for it? Like, would you feel okay charging your normal rate for something like that?
I don't know if I would. I think if I did it, I'd maybe do it more as like an experimental thing and just do it like just collab with somebody. You know,
Can I ask why?
I don't know, just to see what it's like. I think it'd be kind of cool. And also, yeah, I think it's cool to just put it out there like, hey, I shot this entire thing on my phone. So
Yeah.
as long as you know how to edit footage, you can make something out
Do you
of
have like anyone in mind and like, let's try to manifest this. Let's do this.
it. Shit. I mean, I can think of a few people that I would want to work with. Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to start reaching out.
You can't be saying the name out loud. Like, Zeke, I fucking saw you made that clip, bitch. Like, I want my free
That's
video.
a verbal agreement.
I fucking took it as a contract. Okay. So yeah, I would love to help you work on a project like that. I think when it comes to
Like document the process of it.
yeah, either document it, but I feel like when it comes to working with the iPhone, like it gives you more constraints because you don't have the freedom of just like having this beefy sensor where you can capture things in the middle of the night, like, and also like it forces you to like really play with it. But the cool thing is it also frees you up because it's so small. Like you can put it in different places. You can get unique angles,
Well,
unique perspectives. And now they have like cinematic mode that like, mimics all the bokeh and things that you get out of normal cameras.
yeah.
The thing is, the cinematic mode is not always perfect. Like you have to like really like get the. I've seen like I can't like even begin to think about like all the trial and error that people go through when making music videos with the iPhone, especially just knowing how like most people like when they shoot from the hip versus giving a photographer your phone, like you can tell the
Well,
difference. It's the movements, it's knowing where to be. It's like getting out of like let me just hold my phone up to my face. You know what I mean? Everyone sees like this. It's all about
yeah.
perspective and things like that.
Well, and I think for what the iPhone like lacks maybe more in technical, it definitely has a lot of upsides to it. Like I think the fact that it's very like steady image,
Yeah.
and if you have a steady enough hand, you can get some fucking crazy camera movements with that thing. Imagine like that, like you like think of all the ways you could twist your arm because compared to like I have the like FX3, and then when I have that thing like fully like all like when it's all loaded up, I mean, I can move around. Don't get me wrong. Like I still free shoot a lot, but also at the same time, like I have to two hand that thing. It's not.
Yeah.
But like that with the iPhone, I'm like that gives you so much mobility. I think too, which is kind of cool. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I think yeah, I think it does allow you to also get more creative with the angles too.
Yeah.
Because you kind of have to be. There's like, and you can do weird shit with it. You could tie it to a tree, fucking slap it on a bus.
But you also get like the benefits of like the post processing, like the fact that like, you're always gonna see the movies. You're always gonna get that
I
HDR.
think the biggest downside to it would probably be color grading. That would be about it.
Have you ever messed with like Filmic Pro or like any of the like manual video editing tools? I remember when I first started like the business,
Yeah.
I had the two ZV-1s,
Okay.
but the two ZV-1s were my main angles, and then I had the iPhone as a wide angle.
Yeah.
Like an ultra wide. Now it was so shitty. Like it was hard to match up the footage, but I tried my best because like on Filmic you could shoot flat like S-Log or their equivalent of S-Log,
Yeah.
and I would just keep that like flat and then try to like color match it in
Well,
Ecamm.
I mean, that's what I did when I shot on the Sony A7R II for like the first like few years of like my career.
Yeah,
I didn't have true S log in it, but I had like an S log like filter essentially to it.
yeah,
So I would shoot with that, and it definitely gives you some flexibility. It gives you more flexibility than you get with just the straight up like recorded video itself.
yeah.
But
Okay. I have a question. Um, like let's say like this is like the grand day scenario, like you win the lottery, and what is the first thing you do to start building your music video empire? What's the first thing you do with that money?
Fantasy Factory,
Fantasy Factory?
like Rob Dyrdek's, but more for video.
Okay.
But it's still foam pit, zip line,
Okay.
probably less skateboarding stuff. I can't really skateboard, but Fantasy Factory.
Can I ask, like, would you like? So, like, by Fantasy Factory, because I've seen like there are just like Hollywood like studios, and like
Talking like
they have like the jail cell room, they have the bedroom. Like, is that what you're thinking, or is like what is this Fantasy Factory?
Well, I would definitely want some blank space to like be able to build sets, like build custom stuff for video. I don't, and like it would be cool to have some setup ones because maybe if you did like Peer Space or something like that. But I mean, really, I think just the space to build your own custom kind of things. And definitely have like I'd probably have like a green room just to have I don't know, just you can go in there and do all your special effect kind of stuff, and then I would even do I don't know if you've seen them like the LED like green screen walls
Yeah.
where you can like make it look like you're in like a fake environment. I would definitely do one of those.
Yeah, I think everyone's
And
been
honestly, if
doing
you had one
like,
of those, you don't even need a green screen room. Those things
yeah,
are amazing.
yeah. I feel like everyone's been doing them as like acting rooms now and things like that, rather than like TVs and screens and things like that.
Yeah.
You out here sipping my juice, girl. Fucked up.
We got a juice thief behind the camera.
Yeah. Lucky you with chives. Kidding.
You're lucky that's mine. You can have the
You get a
juice.
sip, actually. Dang.
Damn. We have to restart from the beginning. Go ahead.
No, we're good. I'm gonna keep this in. Are we good and lined up? Like, I don't know what's going on back there.
I like
So you can face the camera more. It looks like you're more facing.
I'm trying to face Zeke.
Don't stare at me.
Bigger than you slightly.
He is bigger than me. He's a big human.
That's true.
He's a human being.
Squat down.
So you're not even so not even hiring anyone. You're
This
not
is
gonna
my-
hire like someone on your team. You're just gonna build a fantasy factory.
Well, I would definitely have to hire people. You can't have a fantasy factory by yourself.
So
I'm not
who's
Willy
the first
Wonka.
person you hire?
I
Like,
gotta sit up.
yeah. What
Too
like
comfortable.
what is the like what are the needs of yours like
I want
when you're on a shoot by yourself? You get me? Like what are the things you want most?
Truthfully, if I were to build like a dream team, I would probably have like 2 cinematographers. I'd have a behind the scenes photographer always like on set. 'Cause there's so much going on during shoots. It's just nice to have that because everything like me during that day, it's a fucking blur, and it's fun to look back on those pictures because it's just like I don't know. It's cool to remember those things that in the moment you're just gonna forget it, you know. But so I would have like behind the scenes, like crew, and then I think definitely have assistant director, script supervisor. I would have
What the fuck? A script supervisor? What the fuck is that?
script supervisor. Well, I guess like the script supervisor and AD. I mean, they keep your shit on track. That's what they do. They make sure you are getting the shots you need. And script supervisor more for it's like, so you're saying the right lines or you're just following along with what the script is like agreed upon. The agreed upon script essentially. So they keep your shoot on track and make sure you don't miss shit.
Yeah.
Essentially. But I mean, I think I'd be down to like just be the director, and then I would still have to shoot at some point. I'd have a camera in my hand the whole time.
Yeah.
That just makes me feel more
having
comfortable.
the what is it? Not the ATEM, but what's the little monitor that people that having the Atmos Ninja just wouldn't be enough for you.
I gotta hold something.
Yeah. I really there's some YouTubers that like
Yeah.
have some dream studios that I like love. One of my favorites, Marquez Brownlee, MKBHD. He is a fan of using like have you seen like the robotic arms that like can hold cameras and they have like pre-fixed movements and
Yeah.
it's just like
Those are pretty cool.
not like they can go to a shot but also they can refocus on the spot
Well-
like with like cinema lenses and things.
I've had so many people like hit me up and they're like, I want to do a music video like this, and they'll send me stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's like a fucking robotic crane arm. Like, I love that idea.
Oh, is it the one where like they're just standing in the middle and like the camera
It's
goes
just
from
like,
the bottom then to the top of them and they're just
yeah.
looking up and like
I was like, yeah, I'm like, unless you want to rent like a $15,000 crane for the day,
yeah.
that's not really a
I feel like AI can fix that. Like I feel like AI has the ability to fix that. And like you know,
Maybe.
where you can just have the camera angles already set up in the different angles.
Yeah.
And like AI can just like, all right, now fill in the gap and make pretend that we moved from this scene to that scene. You get me?
I think like you would need to have well, essentially you need to like create a 3D scan of that environment that you're in.
Yeah.
And then you could essentially like I think it could play around with like fake angles like that. But yeah, I mean, you just would need to create like a 3D environment of where you're shooting at or where you want it to look like. So you could probably do it in front of a green screen too.
Yeah.
And that's how all the fucking Avenger movies are done.
So who else is
Camera
talking
guy
about the
sitting there.
Avengers? Who else is on this Avengers team of yours?
Oh,
So
and
two
then
cinematographers, a script
definitely have
manager,
some-
yourself as director.
you gotta have some PAs on set always.
It's a PA.
Set assistant. It's like they they just kind of help out with whatever, carrying stuff, moving this to there. Somebody's thirsty, they help them out because everyone it's an underdog position, but I think that's one you need. That shit keeps the team going too.
Yeah.
And then definitely have somebody there, like a lighting technician or something. Always it's always good to have.
No.
Because, well, and most of the time cinematographers work because they work closely with the lighting department, or they do the lighting themselves anyway. Just because if you're shooting something, I think, yeah, you need to know lighting if you're a cinematographer. Like, you have to know lighting. I feel like that's something people need to also, like, when you're getting into it, don't just be like, unless you, like, want to shoot everything outdoors. But even then, you still need to consider lighting and how to make negative fill, how to block out unwanted light and
Yeah.
properly exposed for being outdoors, that kind of stuff too. So lighting, I mean, across the board is like, it's your best friend when you're a videographer. If you have bad lighting, it doesn't matter how good of a story you have. It's kind of hard to watch something when it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
Or especially when it doesn't sound good. But
sound is another thing.
Sound, I think sound is way more important, because even if you have a gorgeous looking video and it sounds like it's coming through a tuna can, yeah,
I've learned my lesson. I will
it's
never
hard.
let someone have just control of sound for a project for me. Like, I need to at least have worked with the sound before, or like, or handling it myself. Like, I can't anymore. It's too. It goes way too, like.
And that's why, I mean, yeah, I just think, especially when you're working on projects, that's when you're wearing multiple hats. Like, you have to take all these things into consideration. Like, and yeah, I don't know. I just think, yeah, I don't think you necessarily need to be an audio expert, but you need to know how to capture good, clean, basic audio as, like, just being a camera op. I mean, now working on a set,
This
like,
audio right now is good. Like,
and that's the beautiful part about music videos. Besides, like, if there's skits involved, most of the time you're just playing music anyway. Like, it doesn't matter who is talking. Like, because people, like, I like, a lot of times.
You say that, but I've
Well, like,
heard some of your nightmare stories where, like, and we're not no names, but where, like, someone has a song, but their lips aren't moving as fast as their song is going. Or, and you're like, wait a minute, do I have to speed ramp this shit just to sync this up?
Yeah.
Like,
the first rule to shooting a music video is you have to know the lyrics to the song that you're shooting this music video for. Because if you don't know your lyrics, you be damn sure no one else knows your lyrics either. You got to know your lyrics. I can't fake that. There's no faking that.
Yeah.
Like, you got to hit your lyrics.
Oh, shit. Oh, that's funny.
There's no clean way to hide that. It just looks like you don't know the song that you're shooting.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So, before I move to my next question, what is this fantasy factory called? I guess we're low-key vision boarding this. It's gonna happen. Is it called Zeke's World, or what's it? Is it Bump the Lamp? Is it
fresh out the kitchen?
Here we go.
Yeah, that's actually what I was originally gonna name my business, and I was like, no, I need to go with something simpler.
Yeah.
So I just did Visuals by Zeke Kitchen. But
Visuals by Zeke Kitchen is not.
Yes, it's not simple. I thought it was just more just like, I guess it is still kind of vague. Right? You're like, what the fuck does that mean? Just go to my page, you'll figure it out.
Yeah. I do visuals.
Yeah. I make stuff. If you like it, I hope you make stuff. If you don't like it, you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you.
It's not like you help blind people see.
Go on now.
Oh, that was funny. All right. So, I don't know if this is the last question, but I don't know how long we've been rolling for.
I have no idea.
I want to ask, like, when was the last time you copied and stole? Or when was the last time you were inspired? That not everyone takes it like that.
All the fucking time. And it's because that's, like, part of, like, when I was saying about the ad lib sort of thing. I'm like, show me examples. And that's why also I like having the opportunity for them to send me different, whether it's a picture or a clip or just a link to a music video or something, whatever. And they're like, I like how this is done. And I'll say, okay, like, let's see how we can like recreate that, you know. And obviously, I got to keep in mind what equipment I have and what the budget is and stuff too, you know. And just depending on what it is, we might not be able to do it. But a lot of times, that's the fun part about copying and stealing. You got to get creative with it. You know, you got to make it, and that's how you make it your own too, is by getting creative with it. It's not necessarily about it's copy and steal, not copy and paste. You know, that's just
Yeah, that's the big one. It's definitely not copy and paste.
Yeah. No one gives a shit about cookie cutter fucking copy paste, but it's like to reinvent or just play upon or expand upon an idea that's already existing. Which, if you think you're a fucking Van Gogh or Picasso, I'm sorry to tell you, you're probably fucking not. You got that idea from somewhere. The idea, what you're thinking in your head right now, came from someone else.
Yep.
Right now. So.
And the same goes for them too. Like Van Gogh and Picasso were inspired by something that came before.
Absolutely.
Whether that be a fucking mushroom trip, like who fucking knows? But like, you know, it was inspired by something that came before it, and like, you know, we stand on the shoulders of giants.
The only one I can say is solidly Salvador Dali. That motherfucker he's an alien creature. he was different. I've never seen some shit like his work in my entire like.
I don't have it in my head. I can't picture it in my head right now.
I gotta show you one of them.
Wait, is he the one that has like the melting clock and like things like that?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I am seeing it in my head then.
That would be correct.
Well, you don't think that comes from like a shroom trip? You don't think that is inspired by like
absolutely all
or not shrooms, but like maybe it's like inspired
absinthe?
by
Absolutely.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. They did weird stuff back then.
But he can't have been the first to like depict things in that nature. I mean, maybe he was. Maybe it was. Maybe he was just like, you know, drawing wax melting and
yes,
then.
I do.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen the face before, and yes, that is the melting clock.
One of my favorite pictures of him. Oh yeah, I think it's. I want this this picture would be hung up big inside the Fantasy Factory. It's its own. Yeah. It's him walking an anteater through the streets. That is the coolest shit I've ever seen.
Okay. Oh shit.
I just think that's impressive.
It's
It's like taking a walk around the neighborhood with your anteater.
Stop.
That's, like I wouldn't tell nobody if I won the lottery, but there'd be signs.
There'd be signs.
Come on, Walter. I smell poor. That's my anteater's name is Walter.
He said, "I smell poor."
I smell like broke around here.
Oh, I love that fucking what's that little clip where like the kid's doing his math homework. Jaden has $2. He gives one. Jaden's broke.
That fucking laugh he does too.
He learned that from someone. So I definitely, you know, thank you for joining me on this like rough, like I wanted to just talk. This will not be the last time we speak to Zeke. We'll definitely be, you know, having him on for an episode 4, 5, 6, and 7 throughout the journey until he gets that Fantasy Factory, and then we'll point back at this time that we did this episode, and we'll be like,
you guys will have your own room in the Fantasy Factory.
I would feel
you can have a corner office. I learned that's a good thing.
I would feel honored. And likewise, like if we
and a big ass aquarium. Absolutely.
For like underwater shots, like what are we talking about here?
I mean, we'd have like an underwater tank separate for shots, but the aquarium's for me.
How can the people find you? How can, you know, someone wants to work with you? Just kind of like, I don't know. I want to give you the opportunity to like make a clip about how you like to work with people. You get me? Rather than the ways that it's been done bad before, like what is the ideal way to reach out to Zeke Kitchen and shoot magic? You get me? Like how does someone need to approach you? What do they need to come with? Like, walk me through the process.
Well, yeah, if somebody's coming to me and they're looking to put some visuals to their music, I mean, yeah, it's as simple as just reaching out. Whether you have an idea or a concept for it already, you don't have to. If that's something you need help with, I'm also able to assist with doing something like that as well. That's why I have different tiers for that kind of stuff, just because I get it. Sometimes you might have an idea and you're just like, I just don't know where I want to go with this. I don't mind putting in that extra time beforehand to like refine that with you, and we'll get that nailed out. And then, yeah, I don't know if you just simply you can reach out through Instagram is probably the best. I get a lot of people that reach out through there. Email as well, which you can also find via Instagram. So either way, you're already halfway there. But yeah, I just reach out and just kind of. It's usually helpful, like if you just send the track to in the first time, because, or I
You got
mean,
people reaching out without sending the track the first time. What the fuck?
yeah, I mean sometimes people just like because like a lot of people just want
Because
to
it's
hear the
secret. It's the next big
well,
thing. Just fucking.
people just want to like hear the price and stuff too, which and I'm not gonna be like I don't know because like
We
sometimes
don't give
like
prices on this bitch because yesterday's
well
price is never tomorrow's price. All
the,
right.
yeah well and, like the only thing I don't like if you're not like getting your music produced like or like I guess I should like say mixed and mastered, don't spend the money on the video. I would think it's more important to spend the money on getting your song refined first, because
Have
again
you
like
ever turned someone down because of that?
yeah, I mean there's been some times and it's just not like I don't I don't really like enjoy doing that, but also at the same time and also it's there's been times too where I'm like just I don't know, like the vibes off or
Ooh, I just
something, you
got a
know.
question. I don't want to let you go because now it just like
I
I
just
gotta ask it.
but you get those gut feelings sometimes, and sometimes it just doesn't feel right. And I'm not. That's why I'm not saying like I'm not just strictly in this to make money. Like, let's be realistic, where everyone needs money to get by. So like, yes, I do charge for these things and the extra time and whatnot, but also I care about your project. I'm gonna put the time into it, but yeah, no, I just I don't know, man.
The question you made me think about was like, how important is it for the like director, you as the video editor, to like the song, like to rock with the song? Like,
Oh,
is it like, do you feel like it's a rule? Like it's like you must like the song before you like choose to work with it, or like have yeah. I don't even want to have that feel bad to even ask questions like that because I don't want to
no,
put you
no,
on the
you're good.
spot.
No, I
But
mean,
like like because I could only imagine like for me, I know like if I and I've learned the lesson the hard way, like by doing shows and starting out, like if I'm just
well,
doing a show and someone's getting drunk on camera and just there's no point to it, it's just like, all right, like what the
yeah,
fuck are
but
we
that's
doing
just
here?
the growing pains of starting anything at first. Like, I'm sorry, but like, and that's I think a lot of people's problem. They're afraid to eat a little shit at first. Like when you're starting out with something, you're low, you're on the bottom ring of that fucking totem pole.
Yeah,
You're gonna get a little shit on you, and that just sucks sometimes. But you also have to remember that's something that doesn't, it's not gonna last forever.
yeah,
You need to, you learn from these times. You learn from the mistakes. Like you're gonna make a shit ton of mistakes at first, and you'll still make mistakes down the road too. But at first, for sure, you're gonna make multiple mistakes. Like
yeah.
for
At
one shoot, like
at
it's just
what point do you feel like it's okay to get to that point? Like, because I'm sure Cole Bennett like is at that point where like if he ain't fucking with the song, then I can't see him doing a music video for it. You get me? Even if it's just like a
yeah.
star's child that like,
Well,
hey, they rock with, but they don't rock with the fucking child. You know what I mean?
yeah, I mean, like I don't know. I think I called you the day it happened, maybe. But there's this guy that hit me up, and he was trying to shoot this music video in Mexico, and this was back before you could buy a blue check. So I was like, this guy was fucking verified. It was like he had like 800 something thousand followers, and I. But the thing is, I literally never heard of this guy. He was like affiliated with Birdman and all sorts of like other fucking like big rappers, and I was just like, and I forgot what he was like. He was with a pretty like notorious label, or supposedly with a pretty notorious label. But I remember he hit me up and he like called me on Instagram, like the Instagram call chat, and he's like, "Hey man, I just want to like talk to you." I was like, "I'm just trying to shoot a music video." And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "When are you looking to shoot it?" He's like, "Today." And I was like, "Okay, like where at?" And he's like, "I'm just right here in TJ." And I was like, "Okay, all right." So I was like,
You about to get human trafficked, my G.
well, and
You
I just
and your camera.
so and see, this is like one of those times where I got that gut feeling where I'm like, something's off, because I'm not just like yeah, while the extra money would be nice, I'm like what? There's strings attached to everything, and I think you realize that too. There's like you got to know you got to know when to say no, and it's okay to say no to stuff.
Yeah.
Not you don't you're not a fucking 7-Eleven. Like you don't have to have people coming and going all day. Like it's okay to be like, you know what, maybe this doesn't align with me.
Yeah.
You know, and also like it's somebody like people who are enjoyable to work with too definitely makes a big difference. And like if you're already being a pain in the ass before you even put down a deposit, you might just hold on to your money. Like it's not like
Yeah.
it's not. I don't want to deal with somebody who is trying to be a drama queen or somebody who has $1 million idea with a fucking $1,000 budget. You
Yeah.
know, I'm like that budget. I'm like is not even like it's not even like short film budget wise. Like some short films are like tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands. You know,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know, man. You got to be careful, people like that. You definitely got to be careful, and you get that feeling. Like once I think it's just after it happens, maybe like once or even a couple times, you can start feeling people out. Just like you already know what's up. Like
Yeah.
it's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think just from experience, it's a muscle. Just like I feel it. I'm like, this guy's gonna suck. I mean, I heard his music. I have nothing against his music yet. I'm just like, I don't think I'm gonna like working with you as a person. I just don't. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not like some fucking person. I'm like, no, you can't do that. You can't work with me. I'm not like that at all. I just, when you know, you know.
Yeah.
Save yourself the like. I'm like, is this money gonna really be worth it? So I feel like the extra stress this motherfucker is gonna be causing me. And if you have to sit there and think about it for a second, the answer's probably it's not worth it.
Yeah, I've been in a couple of tough positions where.
But I get it. Like there are times when bread's thin and you gotta eat that shit.
Yeah.
The only thing sitting in front of you is that big shit pie, and you're like, all right, I gotta take a bite.
For real. For real.
It's not the happiest of bites, but you'll live.
Landlord collects it.
Yep. Keeps your water on for the next 30 days at least. So
Yeah. Yeah.
which
I don't know. I feel like you gave some game.
I don't know what I gave today.
You gave game. You gave game. Like there's definitely like, I think there's definitely clipable moments and there's game to be had from just this conversation. Like just two creatives just talking it out, hashing it out. You get me?
Two guys sitting in a hot tub, 5 feet apart, because we're not gay. You ever see that fucking?
No,
I think that was on Vine. This guy was
Vine
like,
might make a comeback now that fucking Threads is eating up Twitter's money. Elon's out here trying to fucking put ideas together. He's like, I think I can do it.
I miss Vine. Vine was great.
It was due for like it. I felt like it was in like the skit era. Like it was everyone was doing skits and storytelling.
Well, that was it. And same thing on YouTube too, because there's a lot of people. Like one of my favorite YouTubers, his name's Brandon Rogers. I think I've showed you some of his videos on YouTube before, but he does a lot of just like weird, goofy skits, and he has like a couple different series where he has this one where he did a like parody of The Office. It's fucking hilarious. But that was like around that same time too. Yeah, just like that. It was the era of skits. Everyone was making parodies of fucking everything, and I loved it. I thought it was so much fun. This was cool, man. I felt like it was just inspiring. It just made you want to go out. Like, at least for me, it made me want to go out and, like, that was a time when I was shooting really heavy as, like, when I was younger. Like,
Yeah.
And I was just shooting.
You're still young.
Well, yeah, I'm like little kid, like, yeah, I was like probably 14, 15, like running around with a video camera. And we had a YouTube channel, me and my friends, and I think we had like 111 videos we did total. They're still up on YouTube. They're still buried on there.
Catalog. I gotta.
I'm not gonna point you to any of these, but if you find them, have fun. There's 111 of those.
Yeah.
Actually,
I looked at some of them on a How to Copy and Still episode back in the day. So
I had one of the
the episode.
One of my videos has like a couple million views or something. I don't know how that happened.
How much money did you make? Yeah, I think you told me it was like $100 or something like that, or something like that.
I didn't even make. I don't know what so I can't get back into the account. I don't know what. So I don't know. I might have money from ad spend. I don't know. But I had people reach out to me on like YouTube Messenger, and they were like, "Hey, if you change the track to my song, I'll pay you $50." And I was like, yeah, "Okay." And then like 2 months later, this other guy messaged me. He's like, "If you change the track to my song, I'll pay you $150." I was like, "Okay, I'll do that too." So I did that, and so yeah, I made $200 off that video.
Dope shit.
That was me. I remember I was
Look at that, people. Dropping game right here. You got a fucking popular video. Put someone's song on that bitch. Fucking make a dance for it. Put the little GIF on the side.
People just don't understand. Like I love sitting down and working on stuff. Even as a kid, like I remember that entire weekend, I got home from school on Friday, and I only left that chair in the office, like at my desk there, my little fucking like Windows Vita or whatever the fuck it was.
Vista.
Yeah.
Windows Vita.
Velveeta. Jeez. I remember I came home, and I only left that chair to take a piss and eat, but I sat in that room all weekend long, and I put together this video about Disney's subliminal messages.
Oh, I remember that.
And I ended up like I just went down a rabbit hole and put a bunch of other random subliminal message stuff in there. It made it was an all in clip. Wow, what the fuck was it called? All in Windows Movie Maker. That's how I made that video. That amassed like 3 million views. So suck on that, Wahlberg.
Oh, that's funny. So yeah, I think that is a wrap for today's episode. My name is Chris, and hopefully my lower third is gone now. This is Zeke's lower third. One more time. Go reach out to this man if you want to, do a music video. Get that work, man.
Let's make something fun.
And again, this episode was sponsored by a live studio. If you are interested in starting a live show like this or what you're seeing right here, I promise, like, it's me behind the switcher, not in front of the camera and doing all the crazy switches that I'm doing now. I'm just going off a feel. But yeah, go to bookalivestudio.com, book a discovery call, and let's chop it up. Let's see what these ideas are about. What do you want to do?
You get a steep discount if you book your session, and it's just me and you sitting here together in these chairs. We get real drunk, and we have a heart to heart, and we see where the night takes us. Real cheap, but emotionally draining.
And with that, I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye, everybody.